Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Sacred Sounds. Discover the magical power of singing, speaking, and storytelling, magic and healing through words and music by the great master Ted Andrews. I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel. Welcome, welcome, peace, peace. We pick up in chapter 2, the magic in the music. All right. Yeah, we've been through a lot. We've been doing it though. You know, thank you so much for being here live. I will put this in the playlist when it's complete. Thank you so much for being here. So we pick up at page 43, heart chakra at the top. Peace, YouTube. All right. Heart chakra. Sacred sounds that balance and stimulate tone of F above middle C. Harps, organs, flutes, wind chimes, and all string instruments. Long A vowel sound. A. The heart chakra. Physical aspects. The heart chakra is influential in the function of the thymus gland and the entire immune system. It is tied to the functions of the heart itself and the circulatory system of the body. It affects the assimilation of all nutrients, and it is tied to all heart and childhood diseases. It is linked to the right hemisphere of the brain and its processes. It is also tied to the process of tissue regeneration. Metaphysical aspects. This is the mediating center of the chakras. It is the center that awakens compassion and its expression in our lives. It is our center for expressing higher love and healing energies. If stimulated properly, it opens our sight of the deeper forces in plants and animals. It awakens knowledge of the sentiments and dispositions of others as well. Emotional, mental attitudes causing or reflecting dysfunction in the heart chakra. Angry, always expecting confirmation from others. Inability to enforce own will. Financially insecure. Emotionally insecure. Uncertain, miserly, wanting to possess love, needing recognition from others, focused only on self, possessive, jealous, and envious, self doubting, always blaming others, mistrustful of life. Peace, highest heart love, YouTube. Thank you so much for the likes and subs. Highest heart love. Yes, the heart chakra. And what we see with this is, you know, the inability to ground themselves in the love energy. And so that's why they're always needing confirmation from others, right? Needing recognition and to be seen. So someone with an unbalanced heart chakra is looking to be seen. And you'll see this in their actions. Shows that there's an imbalance. All right. Page 44, throat chakra. Peace, everyone. We're reading Sacred Sounds. The magic in healing through words and music. And we're in the second chapter. Thank you for being here on the live presentation of this book and book reading. To the peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. I'm Master Fitness Trainer Uriel Riley. So welcome. Thank you for being here. Peace, peace. All right, let's go. Throat chakra, page 44. Sacred sounds that balance and stimulate tone of G above middle C for the throat chakra. Harps, organs, pianos, and high string instruments. Vowel sounds of short E, I, U, A, eh, ah. Physical aspects. The throat chakra is tied to the functions of the throat, the esophagus, the mouth and teeth, the thyroid, and the parathyroid glands. It is influential in the functions of the respiratory system, the functions of the bronchial and vocal apparatus. The alimentary canal is also part of its area of influence. See, and we just read on this channel, right? Clinical application of respiratory care. So that's the book before this. This is the new book, 2026, that we're starting off with. So look at that, how it ties right in, right? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the likes and subs. Peace. We're in the throat chakra, second chapter of Sacred Sounds, the magic in music. All right. Metaphysical aspects of the throat chakra. This center is tied to the functions of the right hemisphere of the brain and creative functions of the mind. It can be stimulated to open one to clairaudience and to manifest greater abundance. It can be stimulated so as to survey the thoughts of others, telepathy, and it opens the consciousness to insights into the true laws of natural phenomena. All right. Emotional, mental attitudes causing or reflecting dysfunction in the throat chakra. Seeking dominion over others, surrendering to superiors constantly, trapped by fixed ideas, clinging to tradition, always needing rules and supervision, being smug and self satisfied, rigidly dogmatic, resisting change, melancholic, melancholic, fanatical, rigid, and stubborn, authoritarian, being slow to respond. All right. And moving on to the brow chakra. Let's go with the colors. Yeah. Since we just went blue, let's go into the all right. Here we go. We're at the crown. Oh no, we're at the brow. So indigo, indigo, indigo. Here we go. Peace. Thank you so much for reading books with us. Highest heart. All right. Brow chakra. Sacred sounds that balance and stimulate. Tone of A above middle C. Harps, organs, pianos, wind chimes, and high string instruments. Long E vowel sound. E. Yeah, that E energy. Thank you. Physical aspects of the brow chakra. The brow chakra influences the functions of the pituitary gland and the entire endocrine system of the body. It also has links to the immune system as well. It affects the synapses of the brain. It is a balancing center for the functions of the hemispheres of the brain. It is linked to the sinuses, eyes, ears, and face in general. Metaphysical aspects. This is the center for higher clairvoyance and the entire magnetism of the body, the feminine aspects of our energies. Remember, the electrical is masculine and the feminine is magnetic. It opens to higher and clearer perceptions. It is intricate in the process of imagination and creative visualization. It can open one to spiritual vision. Emotional, mental attitudes causing or reflecting dysfunction in the brow chakra. Worrying, fearful of the unconscious, fascinated with external intelligence, seeking power for selfish reasons, pursuing idolized relationships, envious of others' talents, impatient, late for appointments, superstitious, inefficient, unable to live in the now, spaced out, forgetful, fearful of the future, undisciplined, introverted, belittling of others, oversensitive to impressions of others, unable to manifest. Whew. Yeah, here we go. We are moving on to page 46, crown chakra of sacred sounds in the second chapter, the magic in music. All right, here we go. Crown chakra, sacred sounds that balance and stimulate the crown chakra. Tone of B, middle C, harps, organs, pianos, wind chimes, and high string instruments. Long E vowel sounds and I. See, that's why we have to go and do our homework, right? The masters give you a print, and then you have to go and do more to learn and know. Now we know that's I. Physical aspects of the crown chakra. The crown chakra is tied to the functions of the nervous system and the entire skeletal system of the body. It influences the pineal gland, all nerve pathways, and electrical synapses in the body. It is also linked to the balance functioning of the hemispheres of the brain. Metaphysical aspects. This chakra is the link to our spiritual essence. It aligns us with the higher forces of the universe. It is powerful in the purification of our subtle bodies, especially in preparing them as separate vehicles of consciousness. It can open you to all of your past lives and how they have, yeah, led to this point within the present incarnation. It is critical to integrating your spiritual self with your physical self within the circumstances of your present life. That's very key. The now. That's what meditation is for, because we can bring everything into the now, where we are now, and realize the accumulations, release static debris. That's why we shake it up, right? Here we go. Because the now is what matters. Yes. And that's why we do this. Plant seeds right now. They will grow. Emotional, mental attitudes causing or reflecting dysfunction in the crown chakra. Feeling misunderstood. Unable to have enduring relationships at deep levels, having intense erotic imaginations, using power to overwhelm others, needing sympathy, critical, feeling shame, self denial, and self abasement, having a negative self image, daydreaming, needing to feel popular or indispensable, not understanding need for tenderness. There we go. All right. So that completes seven major chakras. Let's continue on this second chapter of the magic and music of sacred sounds by the great master Ted Andrews. Tonal and spinal contacts of the chakras. All right, there's great diagram, masterful diagram, and I'll read it first. It shows where it's at. Okay, so we're going to go from the top this time of the. No, let's start at the base. Let's start. We'll start at the base at the spine. It says sacral, coccyx, legs, rectum, anus, sex organs, etc. And base chakra is the and contacts. Fourth, sacral. Okay. And the tones. C, do. All right. Lumbar, large intestine, spleen, bladder, lower back, prostate, sex organs, spleen chakra, first lumbar. D, tone. Ray, thoracic, heart, lungs, stomach, liver, adrenals, pancreas, kidneys, diaphragm, breast, gallbladder, small intestines, duodenum, etc. Solar plexus. E, tone. Me, heart chakra is the same where we're going. We just went with the thoracic. And the first, second, and third thoracic vertebrae. Five. And cervical, spine, head, eyes, ears, face, sinuses, throat, etc. And throat chakra, third cervical. G, soul, brow chakra, first cervical. A sharp. La, soul, la, and T, or B tone at the crown chakra, pineal, no spinal contact. All right, so here we go right here. This diagram, beautifully done. We had to expand on it, but this was what Master Ted Andrews was looking for us to do. To know this part and to be able to expand on it. And that's what I did with the harmonic vibrational manual. So here we are continuing the work and doing it at the high level. Thank you so much for being here. Yes. All right. Vibrations whether through tones, sounds, or colors, enter through the chakras. They balance the flow of energy within the chakras, and this balanced vibration is then transmitted into the vertebrae of the spine. The vertebrae are extremely strong sound resonators, and they can pick up the sound vibrations and transfer them along the nerve pathways to the organs and tissues. Oh. Hmm. Chapter 2, still the magic and the music and of sacred sounds. Page 48, proving the effects. Here we go. Proving the effects. Two of the most enjoyable aspects of my seminars on healing with sound, music, and voice is the demonstration of one, how easy it is to short circuit the energy system of the body through emotions and attitudes, and two, how easy it is to restore that balance of flow of energy through tones, instrumental or vocal. The most effective way of demonstrating these aspects is through kinesiology. Kinesiology is the study of the muscular movements in the body's voluntary and involuntary. And we have to hit a pin right here. Understand, as master healers, the flow is what's important, and kinesiology is one of those that releases the flow. Very important. Much love. Peace, YouTube. Thank you so much for the likes and subs. We're pushing towards 600 subs on this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. So thank you for being here. Highest heart love. Wish that the view is well and the sound is well, is perfect for your viewing. Thank you. Consumption. Voluntary and involuntary, and their interactions with the rest of the body. Part of the study is the connection between the muscles and the electrical system of the body. As the muscles move, electrical energy is released. The term kinesthesia means conscious recognition of the orientation of different parts of the body with respect to each other, as well as the rates of movement of the different parts of the body. These functions are subserved principally by extensive sensory endings in the joint capsules and ligaments. These endings are stimulated strongly when the joint is suddenly moved. They adapt slightly at first, but then transmit a steady signal thereafter. And we're talking about the connective tissue of the body when we're dealing with ligaments, right? And tendons. So this is going to be at the end of bones or connecting bones and muscles. Our thoughts put out brain wave patterns, electromagnetic frequencies that can easily interfere with the functioning of the muscles and the entire electrical system of the body. Too much negative energy will weaken the muscles. If we make contact with a weakened area to test it, it will lose energy and become weaker. This is the purpose of muscle testing. It provides a feedback system that lets us know how outside energies, including our own emotions and thoughts, are affecting our physiological processes. Muscle testing is simple and it helps develop a body awareness. It is a way of providing ourselves with feedback about the functions of our energies. It does have some limitations. A common limitation that some may notice is the influence of personal expectation and suggestion. They play a part, but remember that our thoughts and emotions do affect physiological conditions and processes of the body. We are simply trying to develop a heightened awareness of them. A second limitation is that of the muscles on the upper and lower arms canceling out their strengths. However, we are simply working with established a relationship between the chakra and the physiological response. We do this by isolating and focusing upon one predominant muscle. That's right. That's why I do what I do um, with your healing and learn to do it is I isolate each muscle group and then we're breathing to it. So, you know, for instance, the tricep, right? Isolate the muscle. Where's the muscle at? Where's the tricep at? Right? Tricep is here, the back of the arm. So we isolate that, get it to a relaxed state, and then we're breathing to it. And then we do it to the other side. It creates a wind tunnel to that area for healing. And it's going to get deeper in the stretch and lengthen the muscle, right? This is a natural healing. And we can also see the opposite. If there's a blockage there, if there is that in its natural position, it doesn't have a range of motion that is accessible for doing, you know, normal activity, then we know there's a blockage. We can do the same thing in a voice. We can see that. So that's why master is always going to be mastering because there's ways to be able to know, right? And not be confused. Muscles do not work alone. And because of this, one muscle on its own is not going to be as strong. This is also why we test only the first couple inches or of range in the muscle action. Because of the kinesthetic action, the muscle will either test strong in the first part of the test or will give completely. It is a good idea to first test for general strength to get a feel for the muscle strength, then retest it after short circuiting it by focusing upon a particular thought or emotion. Then test it yet a third time after the sound treatment is applied. Fatigue does not play a part, as the test only takes several seconds and there is an interval of rest between the tests. We'll, we'll pause right here, continue back in the second chapter of Sacred Sounds by the great master Ted Andrews. Discover the magical power of singing, speaking, and storytelling, magic and healing through words and music. Thank you so much for reading books with us. Highest heart, love, and honor. What's going on, love? Oh, look at all the likes. Thank you so much for liking, subbing. We're pushing towards 600 on this peaceful part of YouTube. So and we'll read books and learn from masters. Much honor, much love. You are doing it. Now, you have to continue. You know, we have a chance, right? So, breathing to all the muscles of the body is an enlightening tactic. So thankful and grateful for all I have now and all that is coming to me. Thank you so much. So grateful reading these beautiful books. So grateful and thankful for y'all being here and accepting the information and knowledge. We completed the harmonic vibrational. So grateful and thankful. See it right here. You can purchase it on Amazon. All right. So thank you so much for being here. Let's have a glass of love water, honoring recent friends and family that we've lost. Mr. Owens is elevated. We love you. Mike, major hugs, losing your father. He's with us now as an angel. I love you. Thank you all for being here. All our friends and family. We honor you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. We will reconvene in the second chapter, Magic and Music of Sacred Sounds. Thank you for shaking it up on YouTube with me, reading books. Woo! Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya. Peace, peace. I will see you soon. All right? No. Thank you so much. Much love. Yeah, we're pushing towards 600. We're doing it. You know, masters are going to be masters, right? Yeah. Wishing all the best for all of us. I'll be praying for us. Tonight, we are going to the lavender cloud. All right. So I'll meet you there in the lavender cloud for some restoration. We're going to be reading some poetry, loving on one another. And yeah, right. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I love you, you. You know it because I love myself. Highest heart love. I will see you soon. Peace, peace.